Hello conservation crew and welcome to another Nature Diaries. This time we're on home turf, so we're just down the road from us in a little nature reserve, a triple SI or living landscape called Dawlish Warren. So let's see what we can see. So there's a reason we've come here today. You might have seen one of our previous Nature Diaries when we were up north in North Wales looking for sand lizards. Since then we've learned that there's actually some in our local area, so we're going to have a look and see if we can see them beauties, but if not, I'm sure we'll see lots of things. So we're here at Dawlish Warren National Nature Reserve, and it is an area that has quite a few protected species, including plants, but the site really relies on the dune systems, and the dune systems are being threatened by high tides and storms. They are in quite a precarious location, so you can see the River Exe here, and then we have the sea here, so this area here is constantly a threat from wind, storms and erosion from the sea as well. So it's quite a predicament that they're in. Spend lots of money to protect this area where the valuable species are, or just let it wash away to the sea. We've just been in a nice little visitor centre they have here on the Warren. In there was a couple of cool things. So we found nests from a watervole, which was from the site, which is fantastic. And also in 2016 there was a fin whale washed up on the beach just behind me there. So the fin whale's the second largest mammal on the planet after the blue whale, and unfortunately it died when it was washed up, before it was washed up. But they got some of the vertebrates, some of the backbone in the visitor centre, so we've got a couple of images of that as well, just to show the sheer scale of it. So this nature reserve would make a good case study about how different stakeholders and interest groups all have to work together in an area. So we're on the nature reserve, but then we've got a golf course behind us. Many golf courses end up on dune systems, and then just over my shoulder here we have the beach. So we've got obviously flooding risk, wave action that's getting worse because of climate change or climate chaos, and also we have all the beach goers going down there. And then just over this way in the distance, you probably can't see it, there's theme parks, arcades, holiday parks and so on. So these beautiful dune systems where sand lizards live, because of their beauty, people often want to go and see them, including me looking for them today. But if you do, it's really important you do this in a responsible way. So stick to the paths, keep dogs on a lead, don't go anywhere you're not supposed to go, don't take anything with you, all the usual principles. But because these animals are so rare and sort of threatened in the UK, it's arguably more important that we do everything we can to protect them. We've had no luck with the sand lizards at the moment, and we had to divert a little bit because we've coastal erosion. Hopefully it's not thrown us off the track, but it's still gorgeous today. We've seen some barnacle geese up on the estuary, and I don't know if you can pick it out. I've sent Laura a challenge to try and photograph one, but we've got beautiful skylarks just above us, and we even have come across a sill bunting. We never managed to get a snap of that, but sill buntings, for those who don't know, are like super rare, or they were super rare back in the early 90s, but they've slowly but surely recovered thanks to lots of in situ and ex situ conservation efforts. So it's often marketed as a bit like the tiger of the southwest in terms of rareness, but it is bouncing back. And we saw one last weekend further up the coast, probably about 20 miles from where we are, and we've seen one here as well, so it's fantastic that these birds are making a comeback. But the quest continues. Let's try and find these little pesky lizards, and I only use the word pesky because I can never find them. So the search is continuing, but it's looking a bit more promising now. Laura heard a little rustle, like the quintessential lizard noise, and also we're in an area where there's lots of rabbit burrows and part rabbit burrows. So I don't know if you know, but sand lizards actually utilise burrows. Sometimes they create their own, sometimes they'll utilise like rabbit burrows. And when they go in the hole of the burrow, they do a sharp 45-degree-ish, without getting my protractor out, turn. So they'll use that as a hole, and they'll use these burrows to avoid predators, but also to regulate their body temperature as well. Now, sand lizards are our only egg-laying lizard in the UK, so sometimes they'll use their burrows to lay their eggs in, but they'll also use shallow scrapes of sand to bury their eggs. Another reason we should be sticking to footpaths and keeping our dogs on a lead in dune systems, especially if we know or think they could be sand lizards. Today's Nature Diaries. Did we see them sand lizards? No, but we did see loads. We saw sill buntings, we saw a hobby, we saw barnacle geese, we saw rabbits, we saw lots of other tracks and field signs as well. So a great place to come. So if you're ever in the area, please do come down and enjoy the Warren.